everybody. Welcome to the Section 325 podcast.
The second half.
Whew!
Dude,
Woo!
Doink for the win. I'm just...
That's twice.
a lot of their games has been coming down to the last second, and a lot of them are lucky calls. Who could have called a Doink? That's super lucky. You go back, that touchdown that was not a call to touchdown at the first week with Baltimore. Pass interference, block.
Those of you tuning in, we're talking about the Chiefs. Yeah, the Chiefs. But here's the deal. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They could be a good team.
Or a bad team.
And they're like playing them the same.
And that's what I'm not liking is just because they're not dominating these games.
The Jaguars and the Panthers hung in there with them.
Yep.
As well are teams like the Chargers and the Raiders. It's like who, and then playoff teams.
They're not going to survive the playoffs.
You don't think?
I don't think so.
Or they're going to just know how to win.
Well, Bills have already beaten them.
Bills couldn't even beat the Rams. I'm mad at the Bills right now because we could have had a full 2 games on the Rams.
But you know what? Bills, Josh Allen, 6 total touchdowns.
It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't his fault. The defense did let the Rams score too many points. But, when you score 42 points, you should be winning games. Anyway.
Enough about the Chiefs. Let's
Bills,
go.
if they face the Chiefs in the playoffs, they're going to score 42 points against them.
Except it's going to be in Kansas City now.
Yeah, we'll see. What's that?
Where's the cursor? I can't even see
Just click it. You don't need to.
Yeah. Okay, there we go.
So anyways, that's moving on to my statement is the luck has to run out. 14 games, what's the winning streak? Winning by 1 possession games, 15 maybe now. But their streak has to come to an end, and it will happen in the playoffs. I don't see this team. I mentioned it before. They have not scored more than 30 points. I think twice they've scored more than 30 points. Multiple teams have done it. Jaguars have done it, and Carolina has done it. So they're just playing these close games, bad or good teams, and they're just getting lucky. And I've showed you a stat last week where going into this game, they were like the worst 11-1 team.
Yeah. Because
most 11-1 teams have dominated, have like 50 plus points over against their opponents.
Yeah, and they're not.
It's like 15. So I don't know. I don't have high hopes for the Chiefs.
We're tired of the Chiefs.
As a Chiefs fan, I would be worried going into the playoffs because.
What do we say? Is that just going to be our statement today? We're done with the Chiefs.
I'm done with the Chiefs.
Me too. I'm done with the Chiefs.
I'm done with the Chiefs.
Are you done with the Chiefs? We want to hear it. Post a statement on our TikToks, our Facebook, Instagram, whatever you see this on. YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel. You can watch the full video.
Episode.
The whole thing. We're Straps is creating shorts for that
live.
As well. We are live. Second half. I never get to say that, so I threw that in. But, all right. So week 14, we're both tired.
We're done with the Chiefs.
Of the Chiefs.
Done with the Chiefs.
All right, here we go. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I know I did well. Seahawks.
Did you do well enough?
Well, we're about to find out.
Well, yeah, we will.
You know, because he puts this together.
Yeah, I put this together.
I picked the Seahawks over the Cardinals. Brilliant pick.
Yeah.
On the road. Check mark.
I should have had the Bills.
You obviously should have had the Bills.
Nope.
This is a crime shame. I don't even fault you for that one. There's a loss right off the get-go. Falcons and the Vikings. I figured the Vikings would take care of them at home. Bears and the Niners. Niners came back in a big way over the Bears. Browns and Steelers. Got to take the Steelers. They weren't going to lose twice to the Brownies. No. Not at home.
And you know what's funny? I ran into a guy that's a Steelers fan, and he is not liking Russell Wilson.
Why?
I don't know. He likes Fields better, I guess.
Still?
Yeah, still.
And even though they're scoring more points and he's dropping dimes?
I guess he mentioned it's just because the Steelers Russell has that attitude, like that entourage that he would bring. Like when he brought or came to Denver, he brought his entourage, and then he had his office and he had his like private stuff. So
well, that's part of the reason there wasn't success with the Broncos, right? he came in thinking he was this, and really he's a teammate, right?
Yeah.
We're all in it together. Me and you do the podcast together. If
Mhm.
either one of us were to sit over here and think that I'm the whole show or you're the whole show,
I'm the second half.
It wouldn't be I'm the first half. It wouldn't even be anything, right? So it's just I think he learned from that. The Broncos obviously
and it is a better fit for
the
him.
culture in Pittsburgh is a better fit for him.
Yep.
Tomlin's the perfect coach for a guy like Russell Wilson. All right, so you took the Chargers, or you debated this one.
I was,
and you were a doink away.
I was a doink away.
So here we are, Jets.
And that was not the first time the Chiefs won on a doink on a field goal on a Sunday night. They won it against Denver like 9 years ago on a doink. That was an overtime game.
I saw the video of the two.
Yeah.
All right, so Jets and the Dolphins. I really thought the Jets were going to get them.
Yeah, and they almost had them.
It was in overtime. They had them.
I wanted Jets to win too, so I don't blame you on that one.
Yeah. Bengals and Cowboys, good pick there. Panthers and the Eagles. And here you were debating. I think you ended up taking the Lions.
I did.
And that was a good move. But
that one saved me.
I got you by one. I should have taken the Dolphins. Now I'm pissed.
And look at this.
We're tied up. Boys and girls.
You took a good lead at the beginning of the season. I caught up halfway through, and then
I had to grind my way back.
And then it took a while for you to get back.
You had that really hot streak where it was like perfect, maybe one miss, and I was like even. So I've had to really just grind it out. Here we are.
Here we are.
That's a really good record, though. Anybody looks at that record would be like, these guys know what they're doing. We know what we're doing on this show.
I know. I'm actually kind of curious to know what the analysis guy is like on Sunday Night Football, or what
their records are.
What their records, what their picks all year.
I guarantee we beat them.
I'm sure we should submit this.
We have people doing our writing for our show. We have people,
producers
looking up the stats that we bring to you here. We hold nothing back for you folks. Here we go. Wolves power ranks. Let's get into it. Some big changes.
It was really hard because there were 6 teams on bye. 4 of them are basically kind of in the playoff position. So with that, number 10. The bye team weeks.
No, wow. Bye week teams, number 10.
No, because you have Denver, you have Ravens, the Colts, even though they're in the playoff picture, and then the Commanders, they were all on byes.
Okay.
So, they are all top 10 worthy teams, maybe not the Colts.
That's a good way to
play the Broncos this week, which would be a very key game for them.
Okay, so to squeak in a few.
So, that's what I ended up doing. So, Seahawks, they have a great divisional win.
Big time. Yeah. Swept the Cardinals and that little Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Our defense it is so fun to watch football game when you have a balanced team of defense and offense.
Yeah.
Wow. It's like, who's going to help the team right now? And it's just nice. So Seahawks moving up out of 10 in that number 9 spot.
Yeah.
Chargers dropping down to number 8.
Yeah, they just dropped 1. But again, they played against the Chiefs.
I'm like, are they good? Are the Chargers good?
Their defense is good. Their offense is kind of wishy-washy.
Who are you going to compare them to? Who would you compare the Chargers to? Another team in the league that is winning but not really good.
They're a hit and miss. Their offense is a hit and miss. So I think their defense is solid.
Are they like the 49ers of the AFC?
Yeah, maybe.
Like they could be really good, but they're just not winning.
Yeah.
Okay. Packers. Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks in Seattle. Woo! Big game coming up.
Yeah, they did lose to the Lions, so.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good game, though.
They're going to lose back-to-back.
That could hurt them.
Steelers moving up to number 6. They are as solid as any team there is out there.
Mm-hmm.
They're as solid as any team. I think they can beat anybody. Are they the best team on paper? Probably not, but they can beat anybody.
Their defense is solid. I would have them as the number 2. It's just their offense. Russell, he has numbers. One game he had 400-some passing. But you need to score touchdowns. Their kicker is like scoring more points than some fantasy receivers. So,
yeah, they had a few this last week. Now the Eagles, number 5.
Mhm.
They should have lost to Carolina. That receiver dropped the ball
Mhm.
right in his breadbasket.
You know what? It's Eagles. I feel like they can dominate games, but they're not showing it.
Well, they did for a little while there, and then
Well,
they
yeah.
crushed the
I mean,
Ravens.
their 9 game winning streak is holding them strong.
I think Carolina's just playing really good football right now. They
Yeah,
just still don't know how to win, but
they can still make the playoffs.
no way.
They are not eliminated yet. You know how that can? Bucks, if they lose out, and obviously I think the help with some Atlanta losses, but yeah, if the Bucks lose out and Panthers win out, that will be one scenario where they would have to, but probably with help with a lot of others. But that's probably the main one right there.
Well, I definitely think fans are probably going to be a little more excited about next year with the way they're
Yeah,
competing right now. So Eagles moving up to 5, Vikings
they
holding
stay.
steady with
I
the
did put the
Chiefs.
Chiefs back in there. I did not drop the Bills even after their loss against the Rams because I think they can still beat anyone below them, and they've beaten the Chiefs. So, and the Lions number 1.
Yeah, I think it's fair. And then I don't know what happened to the Bills defense in that game, but Josh Allen did everything he could.
Yeah,
I mean, 6 touchdowns,
yeah,
3 running, 3 throwing.
yeah.
Oh,
Fantasy
that's
lovers loved it.
unheard of. That's just crazy. Is he the best guy in the league? Is he the MVP?
I would put my vote for him being the MVP. He deserves it. He's been up there. He for the last 5 years, he hasn't gotten it, and where I think he deserved it more than Lamar.
Yeah, well, Lamar can't win the big game, but
Yeah,
Josh
well,
Allen has
he
not shown that he
yeah
can as
his
well.
AFC championships is his kryptonite. So
Well, it's a new year, and I thought they were going to get a home field, but I think this loss
it
to the
did.
Rams
Yeah,
cost
it
the
hurt
Bills,
them.
so you're going to have to win one on the road at least.
Yep. So
Um, unless the Chiefs lose in the first round, which,
well,
I mean, you just said they're not going to win in the playoffs,
yeah.
so
I mean, look who they have to face regardless. It's either like the Bills, the Steelers, Ravens. Sure, they're up and down, but again, I mean, what if they do play the Broncos? Broncos are this again, almost beat them by the field goal block in KC.
yeah.
So Denver knows how to beat them, and they might be the underrated team that no one's not really looking at. Is
Yeah.
my guess.
Yeah. I mean,
So
teams do get overlooked.
yeah,
Here's 4 teams that nobody's going to
yeah,
overlook.
that was from last week, and then we have 3 new teams to add to the collection, the club of the elimination,
Browns, Titans, and
the
the
Jets.
Jets. Ouch. That's too bad. They just the Jets are very similar to the Panthers. They really started playing in every game.
Yeah.
They just can't seem to win. And the Browns, well, they can only beat the Steelers and the Ravens at home, not on the road. Well, they did beat the Ravens on the road, and then they beat the Steelers at home, but they need a snowstorm apparently. AFC playoff picture week 14. There's your Chiefs in the first slot. Now a 2-game
two,
lead
yeah,
on
two
the
game lean.
Bills.
I think
There's
there's not
Chiefs
there's
not going to lose 2 games the rest of the
well
way.
they do play this week. Well, they do play Steelers on Christmas, so that will be a good game. They are playing Browns this weekend, so you never know with the Browns. Even though Browns are 3-10, I don't know, but still, um, every game counts, and I think they still have to play. I think they're done playing the Chargers. I
Who
think they
has
have.
the
I think they
tiebreaker over the Bills and the Steelers?
Bills apparently because that's the rank. That's the ranking.
Okay.
Oh,
Wonder why they have the tiebreaker. Okay.
yeah. And then Broncos sitting in 7th. They have a 2-game lead right now against the Colts and Dolphins, and they play the Colts. So important
Oh,
game for the Colts, but also more important for the Broncos because if they win,
oh,
and
Bills have a better in division record in their
probably,
own
yeah,
in their own
probably,
division.
yep.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think that's the next
Because they're
one.
4-0 in their division, and the Steelers have 1 loss to the
Yep.
Browns.
So there we go.
Okay, let's go to the NFC playoff picture. Lions, obviously number 1, 12-1. They did have that tough game this last weekend Um, Eagles, man, the Eagles they're really good. They're really good.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got a team that can run the ball and you're going into
Oh yeah.
these cold weather games, that's really big. Unless you're in Detroit, you throw all that out.
Yeah.
I heard they're probably going to make every stadium a dome stadium and just eliminate weather altogether.
Oh really? I like going to Denver and having it a chill day or seeing snow on the ground. I haven't been to a Denver game, but
It
like
feels like
on
football.
TV, it feels like football.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just like you see the
Like
steam coming out of your mouth, and you're ready
yeah,
to.
and maybe like Buffalo and Minnesota, those are the more climated areas in January, December, where it's more difficult, sure. But yeah, I don't know. But Mile High, Kansas City, it still gets cold, and that feels like football.
Well, here we are. All right, so yeah, and then Eagles 2, Seahawks the third spot, Bucks number 4, Vikings at 11-2,
I know, just
unheard of as a wild
yeah,
card. Just you got to feel bad for them, but they still play the Lions one more
I
time,
think they do. Yeah,
so that's not done yet. But they also have to play the Seahawks. Ooh, so good luck with that. Packers 9-4. They were looking pretty good there for a minute. I suspect they'll be 9-5, as will be the Seahawks after this next weekend. I think they take care of Green Bay, but we're going to find out what happens. We'll see how that all
yeah,
shapes up.
that would help too because for a while it looked like the only way Seattle would get in the playoffs if you won your division.
Mm-hmm.
And if you beat Packers, then let's say Commanders even lose, you're obviously will have the lead in the division by a few, but it's also safe to say that somehow Rams catch up.
Rams could sneak in there.
Yeah, you still get a wild card position, so it's
Yeah.
almost one of those things. You
Well,
could you could
that
clinch
makes
them.
this game even more with the Packers and Vikings.
Yep.
You got to get at least one of those. Packers would be the main one to get,
Yeah.
because that would even us up. We'd have the tiebreaker to where if something happened and the Rams were to beat us that last week of the season and we finished tied,
Yeah.
then they would win the division because of the tiebreaker head to head.
Yep.
That would put us into
Well,
the
even going back to the AFC with the Broncos, they are 2 games right now ahead in the seventh seed position, playing against the Colts. Winning that game, that will be a for sure, and hopefully, um, Dolphins lose too. Um, then we definitely have a good, strong chance.
Have you seen Tua's number since he came back?
Really, not.
Somebody were saying that they what did they say? They CTE'd him back into place or something.
Oh,
I was like, that's pretty funny.
that is funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, Miami plays Houston, so that will be a good game. And yeah, I'm hoping Denver can just win, Dolphins lose, and then they have a good 3 game.
Just win, baby.
Just win, just win.
Well, that's
So
it. Just you control your own destiny, Seattle, Denver. So
yep,
just win.
just win. I eliminated the crappy games.
Okay.
So
Whoa.
we're not going to get the Jets and Jaguars.
Speaking of,
Speaking of,
the Colts are at the Broncos. I think the Colts have struggled a lot this year. I think they're good, but they're not as good as the Broncos. I think the Broncos are finding themselves a pretty good contender, and at home, the way your rookie quarterback's playing, I like the Denver Broncos in this one.
yeah, good. And it's funny, I got your game.
Oh, here we go.
Packers in Seattle. At the beginning of the year, you can look on paper that this is a well even matched out game. Even halfway through the season, you might have considered Packers was the better team, but I'm going to go with the team that is hot right now, and they are playing at home. So I'm going to pick the Hawks. The Hawks.
See. There we go. All right. Okay. There we go. Look how nice we are.
We
Can't
are
pick
nice.
any other people's
Yeah.
teams. Wow. The Bills coming off that loss to the Rams, going into Detroit.
This is a Super Bowl preview, possibly. This is probably the Super Bowl everyone wants.
This is a tough pick. Do the Bills lose 2 in a row, or do the Lions rise to the occasion and say, no way, this is our year?
No.
And you know what? I like Josh Allen a lot, and I don't think he's going to lose 2 in a row, but I also think the Lions are on a mission this year.
Yeah, because if they lose, Minnesota wins, and then they play each other again. Let's I don't know. Think next week. I'm not
The
sure.
Rams' offense is nowhere near what the Lions' offense
Oh
is.
yeah.
And if the Rams are putting those kind of points on the Bills, the Lions are at home. I like the Lions in this game by a field goal to win it in the end. I'm taking the Lions
Okay.
over the Bills.
Perfect. And I got the the battle of the 8th seed right now.
Oh, I really want the Niners to win this game.
Rams and Niners. I've kind of always been a favorite of the Niners. I kind of considered the Rams were kind of done halfway through, but I mean, Niners did play a good game against the Bears. I think even though with their injuries that they have on offense, they were able to figure it out as a team. Max Man stepped up, so I'll go with the Niners on this game.
Okay, good pick. I probably would do the same thing. Here we are, the Redskins or Commanders going into New Orleans. New Orleans got that crazy block with that guy who didn't really jump. He jumped over, kind of, fell over, and then he went to jump again and his knees gave out.
Oh
But
yeah,
he
blocked it.
still blocked. I was like, that is the worst unathletic play I've ever seen.
I think it was just because he was so tall that he still was able
It
to
looked
block
like he
it.
had a big breakfast and couldn't get that second jump to work. But he got his paw up there and knocked it down. Commanders, I think, definitely found their groove again the last time they played. Now they have a bye, and they are going to be ready to finish the season strong.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think a car broke his arm, didn't he?
Yeah, his hand. It's non-throwing hand, but I think he's on IR
Yeah.
for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Commanders in this one all the way over the Saints.
And I got the Bucks and Chargers. I mean, Bucks they're now leading their division. They have been in every single game. It seems like maybe a few bad losses, but the Chargers, like I said before, it's good on defense. Wishy-washy.
Similar teams. Don't they kind of a
Yeah,
similar feel?
a little bit, yeah. Because same thing with the Bucks, like kind of wishy-washy defense at times. A lot of times what Sean would say when in doubt, go with the home team. But a lot of times when you play in LA, the visiting team is usually
The
feels
home
like a
team.
home crowd. I'm going more with my heart because I want the Chargers to lose so that the Broncos can have an edge in the playoffs. So I'm going with the Bucks.
Wow, Bucks win. That could take them to closer to winning the division, which I picked the Bucks. Here we go. Another team that I picked that a lot of people were like, "What?" Because I said Russell Wilson is leading the way, heading into Philadelphia
I feel
to
like
take
you
on
get the Steelers picks
every
all the
week.
time. Yeah,
Going in to take on the Red Hot Eagles. They don't have to travel
Battle
much.
of Pennsylvania. The Battle of Pennsylvania.
Here's what I know: the Steelers have a great defense. I think the Eagles are due for a loss. I'm going to take the Steelers on the road in this one, pulling the upset.
All right.
I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers
We like upsets.
Yeah, I think that is going to happen, and I am betting on Mike Tomlin's Steelers to go in and take one away from the Eagles
with the upset. Bears and Vikings. This will not be an upset. Vikings have the rest of the season to finish strong so that they can hopefully take the lead on the Lions. So
Vikings take that one. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Here's my last pick, and I get the Chefs, who I said I don't want to have anything to do with. But here we are going into Cleveland to take on Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns. Wonder what the pregame speech will be like by Jameis Winston, but I don't think it'll be enough. It's going to be a close game. We know that.
We know that. It'll be a close game. You know what? Don't even bother watching the whole game. Just tune in at the last 2 minutes.
The last second, it'll either be a penalty on the Browns that will affect them,
or a kick-winning field goal, or blocked. We don't know.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs win it on some kind of scramble by Mahomes, and they'll talk about how great he is for the rest of his life. So the Chiefs over the Browns.
Okay. And then I got the Dolphins, who are trying to fight for the playoffs, against the Texans, who are leading their division. Pretty
Whew.
much, I almost want to say has it locked in, but Colts are still kind of lingering there. I still believe Texans are the better team here. So I'm just going to go with that.
Don't forget, in case you guys are wondering, do these guys know what they're talking about on their picks? I just want to bring up, here's some of our eliminated teams from the playoffs, but I want to show you guys where we sit with our picks one more time. And here we are.
We're dead
52 and 24. We're pretty dang good with our picks, so we want to know where we messed up. Let us know, but I'm telling you, we know what we're doing.
Yep, exactly.
We know what we're doing. And
the preview of our rankings there, preview of the eliminated teams.
I'm pretty sure people will realize who is a little better between the two of us when I beat you at the end of the year.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
So there's our random picks from the bag. 52 and 24. I've got a really good record.
Yeah. Let's see if you guys can go 10-0. We're going to go 5-0 here, but let's see if you guys can go 10-0.
Exactly. Can you?
So can you? If you can, prove us wrong, and we'll give you a gift card or something.
Yeah. What are we 52 and 24?
52 and 24. Yeah.
What is our winning percentage? Will you do a quick math?
That's at least 2/3. So we're at least 66%, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. Quick.
That's pretty dang good, folks. Yeah. Pretty dang good.
Yeah, maybe even 70%.
It's close to 70. It's probably like 68, 69. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Well, that's our show for today. Anything you want to finish us off with, Travis?
No, I'm just excited for a weekend of football. I mean, that's going to be a good game. I'm excited for the Broncos to play.
Bills and the Lions doesn't get any better than that.
I mean, Sunday night football is going to be great. So, yeah.
Go Hawks, baby.
Go Broncos.
All right. This is section 325. We're out of here.
Second half.